just bought this Dyson V11 Detect Absolute Extra off Facebook Marketplace for 165 quid. So let's see if what I consider to be the best and all-time greatest of cordless Dysons ever is actually going to be worth it. Let's look at it. Now, the first thing I did when I went to go and have a look at this, because the lady insisted that I had a look at it. So basically, I'll tell you the story of how I got this. So, it was on Facebook Marketplace, and it had been on there quite some time. I remember when it first got listed. It's been on there for about 3 months since. And she didn't have a price for it. She just said, originally 600 quid brand new. Yeah, been used for 3 years, been stored for 3 years, and I thought, right, so the battery's probably knackered. So I asked her about what's the highest offer you got, and she said 200 quid. And I was like, right, okay. Because I was originally planning 165. Eventually, I managed to form a deal with her, and, well, here it is. The first thing I checked when I got there was the fluffy head. Down here, those are usually torn, but this one was absolutely perfect, just a bit grubby. The whole thing's just a bit gross, but at least it's actually there. I checked everything, made sure all the power connections worked, with the wand, without the wand, all of that. The next thing I checked was the high torque head, as these are usually absolutely hanging, but this one is actually alright, and it doesn't look like it's seen much wet, damp, dirt as much as others have. I've had some pretty bad ones in the past. But yeah, so that's actually fine. There is just a bit of what looks like to be the grease that comes off the bottom of your feet when you're walking on the hardwood floor, and all that lovely stuff. Then I checked the mini motorized head. Again, absolutely perfect on the inside there, just quite grubby, and that all worked. And look, interestingly, with this one, you get a 30 watt power head, not the normal 20 watt one you get with the V8. Then I make my way onto the machine, and the first thing I checked with the machine was the bin release lever, as they're usually absolutely knackered. But this one, it's absolutely perfect, not snapped off at all. And then the next thing I checked, following on from that, was the bin catch there, which is absolutely fine as well. Now, the main reason why I consider these to be the greatest cordless Dyson of all time, they're simple, they're quite reliable, the screen here is not overcomplicated, tells me everything I need to know, tells me the battery runtime, and that's about it, which is all you need to know. None of this particle sensing nonsense you get with the later models, just a simple, basic, reliable screen. And adding on to that, the numbers are actually bigger than on the V15. So if you struggle with eyesight, this is the machine to get. The wand is actually in very, very good condition. For a 6-year-old Dyson, you know, these are usually bashed to hell. But this one has just got a few marks on it and it's a bit grubby, but that's all okay. We even have the original, look, we even have the original charger with it. Fantastic, and it works as well, so pleased with that. Unfortunately though, the wall dock is missing a bit, so we can't really sell it with that, but it was included, so that's why I've got it in the picture. The tools are all slightly used. I mean, she said it's been used for 3 years. Anyway, considering it had actually been sat for 3 years, I expected the battery to be knackered and wouldn't hold a charge, but interestingly, it does hold a charge, and it holds quite a big charge as well, actually, so hopefully on eco mode we get about something like 70 minutes, medium 40 something, and then boost about 10-15. I did make a video on one of these exact models a couple of years ago now. Still actually have it because the lady who bought it to me originally is actually in need of a heart transplant, and she doesn't really care about her Dyson, so we've just had to hang on to it. But we are using it because it's important these batteries don't brick themselves and don't hold a charge anymore. As you can see, the Dyson V11 has something called a dynamic load sensor, which determines what floor it's on and adjusts the power accordingly, giving you a calculated runtime on hard wooden floors or carpets. As you can see, this is quite accurate. So that is why I think these are the ideal vacuum cleaner for literally anyone. I mean, big house, small house, Dyson market these as replacing the big machine. I totally see that with this one. Maybe not so much for the V10, but I still recommend the V10 to anyone. I mean, the V10 is just as good and it's about 100 quid less. So if you don't want the little screen at the back, well, obviously a less powerful motor. I think the batteries are identical. I'm not really sure. But one thing that is different is that the V11 no longer comes with the high torque head. Why the hell they have done that, I don't know. Why they didn't keep this design, I don't know. These came out in 2019 and they kept this design for up until 2021, I think, when the V15 came out. But then they scrapped it. They've got rid of the high torque head. Why, Dyson? Why? Why have they done that? It doesn't make sense to me at all. Because quite frankly, I think this head is just as good as the new ones, bar the anti-tangle comb at the back. Well, we used to have a Dyson similar to this with the big brush roll. And unless we had really long hair to vacuum up, the dog hair and stuff didn't get stuck around it. The brush roll diameter was so big, unless you've got really long hair, it doesn't get stuck around it. It's fine. So, quite frankly, the anti-tangle comb was a good idea, and it works quite well. But if you're vacuuming something with quite a matted pile, you know, really matted carpet, it's gonna skip, it's gonna not clamp down, it's gonna stall, and quite frankly, with the anti-tangle comb at the back, it's gonna scrape against the brush roll, and cause premature wear on your Dyson. Anyway, that's why I think these are the best ones that they ever made. I mean, this one, the Torque Drive, which I've already done a video on, and the Absolute, they were the cream of the crop back in the day, and I still think they are now, to be fair. If somebody offered me this and a V15, I know which one I'd have. I know the V15s are both very good, and they're practically the same thing, bar the different motors and the particle sensors, but everything else is very, very similar. All the tools are compatible with each other. Taking a look near the top cyclone here, you can see that there is quite a bit of substantial damage of where the paint has been flaking off, and it's a little bit scratched. But other than that, it's okay. Now there is a slight issue with this Dyson, and it's the trigger. It feels like it's just going to break, and it doesn't feel like it's springing back as much as it should be. There you go, look, there's our trigger. That should really be like that, but instead it just springs back slightly. I'll get it stripped and cleaned, and as I said, listen, this is the ideal thing to anyone. I mean, if I saw this for 240 quid, everything was spotlessly clean, I'd buy it. If I was just the average person, 240 quid for one of these. Chef's kiss, right? I mean, they were 600 brand new back in the day. Well, back in the day, 2019, but they're still great. And I mean, I love them. I love them to bits. I think they're fantastic. I love the simplicity. I love the dust capacity. I love the floor head. I love the soft head. I love the mini head. I think the filter is great. Filtration on these 0.3 microns, something like that. Fantastic. Battery life is also great. It's just a sad thing about the triggers breaking all the time. But if you want a V11, if you're in the market for a Dyson and you want something that's sensible, not packed with tech, but just will do the job very nicely and very well. Look no further than the Dyson V11 Absolute Extra. Fetch 240 quid cash. Cash me up. If it goes wrong within a year, I'll sort it out. Other than that, I don't want to hear from you again. Goodbye.